What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Mattel WWE Elite Collection Series 34, Paige. I was actually excited when I found Paige. I wasn't expecting to find her. I just walked into Toys R Us before work and went to the WWE section, and there she was right behind Elite Series 36, I think it was, the one with Goldust and Stardust. But really happy I found her, especially considering how long her wave has been out in stores. I'm really lucky I found her. That's all I'm going to say. As you can see in packaging, she does include the Divas title and the NXT Women's title, which we'll go more into that when we get her out. Here's a lovely picture of Paige, and I just love Paige. She's so awesome. On the back we have a nice picture of Paige. Let's actually show that off. As well as some statistics, and it just gives you where the attire is from and some information on Paige. Yeah, let me get the camera focused here. It doesn't have her emblem, it just says WWE Diva, which, I would have preferred if it had the P for Paige. But going on, other figures in this wave include John Cena, Rusev, Hulk Hogan, Bat News Barrett, and Doink the Clown. Really glad I have Paige, so what I'm going to do now is take a little break, get her opened up, and then we'll go on to the rest of this review, so sit tight everyone. And so here we have Paige posing out of the packaging. Now before we get on to her, let's actually go on to her accessories. She does come with two accessories, her only accessories being the WWE Divas title and the NXT Women's title. Now let's get those off of her. Moving her off to the side. We'll have a look at the NXT Women's title first. We can zoom in on that. As you can see, it does say NXT Women's Championship on it. I kind of wish that that was sculpted on rather than painted on the Women's and Championship part, but the NXT part is sculpted and it is painted wonderfully. I'm not sure if you can actually see how much detail is in that title. But the paint is like so spot on. There's so much room for error on that, and kudos to Mattel for giving us this title the way they did. That's just a really nice looking belt. Like I said, my only gripes is that I wish they would have sculpted the Women's Championship part, but beggars can't be choosers, and it uses the same clip system that all the other titles use. So that's the NXT Women's title. And then we'll move on to her other accessory, which is the WWE Divas title. Now, this is actually the fourth release of the WWE Divas title, but if you're familiar with Mattel's original Divas title that came with Kelly Kelly, you're going to notice something drastic right here, and I'm going to pull the other one out just to show you. This thing is small compared to this one. I mean, just having them like this, you can actually see how much bigger the Kelly Kelly title was. And yeah, that has a scratching that I really couldn't take it or leave it. But this one, the title looks really nice. The paint is all there. I think the side plates are painted on both of them. Okay, so yeah, the side plates were painted on both of them. I thought this was exclusive to just this figure. But oh well, really nice, and I prefer this size. The only problem I have with it is that it has the 12 clips there, and a little problem I find with it, and I just accidentally moved the camera. Let's zoom out a little. There we go. Is that it doesn't fit around the waist of Paige. You can see it's actually folding. It's not even close to coming around her waist. It's sculpted, it fits more on her stomach than it does her waist, and I don't know how to feel about that. I think, just adding a quarter of an inch to each side would have solved this issue, and then you didn't have to have the all 12. You could have done away with these two, because let's face it, no figure is going to be able to squeeze into this. Like, I don't even think the belt can fit it in there. So, That's my only complaint about this title, is that it has all 12 holes when the last 4 should be like done away with. But moving on to the main attraction, which would be Paige herself. And I'm really happy I have this figure. I kind of wish that she also came with her jacket. I think the jacket, would have been a really nice addition, but she came with 2 titles, so I really can't complain about that. Let's get a good 360 of her before going on to her details. I believe that most of Paige is unique to her. I mean, obviously her head is unique, but her torso, her pelvis, and her hips and her knees down are all unique to her. And let's actually go on to what I mean by they're all unique to her. First off, we'll take a look at her head, which it looks like Paige for the most part, especially at some angles. Some better than others, and you can see she does have her lip piercing, which I'm glad that Mattel was able to do that. You can see her top, and yes, it is sculpted on, it's not painted. Those studs are actually raised. Not sure if you can tell that. There's some paint error right here on her chest. Unfortunately, can't do much about that. But the detail goes all the way to her back. There's a clip back here, and once again it's all sculpted. Her belt and pelvis are all one piece. In case you can't see, there's like a seam line going down that side, as well as her little, I want to say lacing is also sculpted on, which is good because on the Trish figure they were kind of painted on. And you can see the detail in her socks, and let's actually move one of her knee pads down so you can see that her shin is unique to her, if the camera will focus. It's sculpted up to here. It's not painted or it's not all sculpted or painted. It's sculpted and painted. The paint and sculpt obviously ends right here. And it's just really simple. The knee pad is just supposed to cover that up like that. And it's the same for both legs. And then her boots are one of the better things about this figure. I really do love that Mattel went all out to capture all of Paige's unique details, and I like that. They didn't have to do this. They could have just rehashed all the divas like they normally do, and Paige got the better end of the stick, I should say. Oh, also her fingernails are painted. So that's also a really nice detail, and her thumb is here too. That's not paint errors. Paige has the same articulation you'd expect from all the other diva figures. Let's move the camera down so we can go on to her articulation. Her head doesn't have much up and down movement. It does move side to side. And surprisingly, because the way her hair is sculpted, she can look left and right. All you need to do is move the hair out of the way. And she has some slight side-to-side bobble. Arms on a ball joint go out. Do a full 360. She spins at the bicep, single jointed in the elbow. Has a spin in the wrist. She has a nice mid-torso articulation. It moves forward and back, side to side. She also has waist articulation. Come to think of it, I think her stomach is also unique to her. I'll check it out later and let you guys know. She swivels at the waist. Once again, I despise that. The swivel point should be up here, not at the waist. That's just my opinion. But legs go forward, back, and out to about there. She spins at the thigh. Word of caution, when I got mine out of the package, these thigh joints were glued or completely stuck. Blow dryer got them loose, so they work fine now. So you single jointed at the knee, unfortunately, because we saw the prototype image had double joints, so kind of feel cheated on that. But what are you going to do? Spins at the ankle, or the boot, and has an ankle hinge, no side-to-side pivot movement. So all the articulation you've come to expect from all the other diva figures. So what I'm going to do now is take a little break, get her pose up, and we'll move on to my final thoughts. Then we'll wrap up this review, so sit tight everyone. So here we have Paige posed for my final thoughts, and overall, I really do enjoy this figure. She has a lot of nice things going for her. She does come with 2 titles, a reissue that is done much better, and a first time in the line, which would be an NXT championship. This is actually the first NXT title we have ever seen in a Mattel line, so I'm glad they went with that. This is just a really nice figure, well done, and you know, the sculpt reflects that. I really do recommend Paige if you're collecting WWE figures, especially if you want to get a Divas title that isn't the size of the Diva themselves. I mean, look at that. But overall, like I said, if you can find Paige, pick her up. You don't want to pass on her. I picked mine up at Toys R Us. Toys R Us increased their prices a little, but, you know, it was the first time I've ever seen a Paige figure on the shelf, so I had to take her. If you can find her, once again, you do not want to pass her up, especially if you want a new Divas title and you want the first ever NXT title. And this is King of Dragons 5000 saying, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.